hasn't missed a beat. Why does he do it better than anyone else?
There's two reasons. His consistency and his ability to adapt. Adapt to what? Revolving door. You're always going to lose great players. That's part of the game. You recruit, go again. He loses great coaches, and he brings in even greater coaches, and you see the product the same. I struggle with that.
Well, you measure yourself against a program like Alabama. And if the folks in Texas want to say that they are back, this is an opportunity to prove it. For the call, we go upstairs. Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. From Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium, we've got the #1 team in the nation. Nick Saban brings his Alabama Crimson Tide into Austin to take on the Texas Longhorns. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Austin, folks. This should be a good one. Alabama, they've got two superstars of college football. One on offense that's got a Heisman Trophy, one on defense that many consider is the best defender in college football.
These two guys are fabulous. I've loved watching them all week in preparation for this game. Let's start with the quarterback, Bryce Young. What jumps off the tape to me is his intelligence. He is such a smart player. He's accurate with the football. He's got a quick release. You know him and you love him, Bama fans. And if he gets time, he will carve up Texas. Speaking of time, Will Anderson gives none to the opposing quarterback. This guy is a game wrecker. What I love is his talent matched with the effort that he plays with is what's led to these trophies. A Heisman and a Nagurski for the first time in college football history. We've got those two trophies together on the same team. These two guys could wind up being the top 2 picks in the NFL draft. They're that special.
As for Texas, they're trying to rebound from a 5-win season, but they have something old and something new playing for them today.
And the new is their quarterback, the true freshman, really. And I know he recategorized and had a long road to get here, but Quinn Ewers, the freshman, comes out here very talented, Gus. He's got to get the ball down the field and create big plays. The other thing he has to do is get the ball to his best player, Bijan Robinson. And Bijan Robinson is, I think, the best running back in America. They've got to get him the ball everywhere and every way that they can. Watch him all over the place. The guys have talked about all day. The formations and movement of Steve Sarkisian, that's going to start with number 5, Bijan Robinson.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team. Roaming the sideline, battling the heat. Let's go down to the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, guys, here's something to think about. Steve Sarkisian would not be the head coach at the University of Texas without Nick Saban. His last stop before coming to Austin was Tuscaloosa, and it's the timing of that stop that's so relevant. Yesterday, Steve Sarkisian told us, I was a dumpster fire at that point in my career when Coach Saban took a chance on me, and I am forever grateful. We also asked Coach Saban what it was like bringing Sark onto his staff, and he said, I always knew how talented he was. No one is perfect. He's a great guy, he's a great coach, and he was fantastic for us. But guys, there has been so much hype and excitement surrounding this game, and if anyone knows the recipe, how to beat Alabama, Coach Sarkisian has seen it up close and personal. He said it's the teams that become enamored with facing Bama. That's the teams that struggle. His message to his guys, be enamored with us, because the parties after the game, after a big win, those parties are a hell of a lot more fun than anything before.
All right, Bama won the toss and will receive the football, folks. It's going to be hot today. 84 degrees at kickoff time. It's been hovering in the 90s all week. Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium, opened in 1924. And you take a look, this is the 10th meeting between these two teams. Texas leads it big, but their last meeting was a big one in the 2010 BCS Championship, which turned out to be Nick Saban's first national championship at Alabama. Will Stone will kick it off for UT. Kool-Aid McKinstry back deep. And Stone sends it away. And this one fielded at the goal line. And Alabama crosses the 20 up to the 23. Looks like that was Jahmyr Gibbs, who also wears number 1, returning the kick. And a flag on the play. Jaylan Ford with the tackle on special teams. Scott Campbell is your referee today.
During the return, holding number 2, return team, half a distance to the goal, and spot the foul, first down.
Bryce Young, what a talent. Heisman Trophy winner. He won almost every award a quarterback could win last year. Got off to a good start last week against Utah State. Rushed for 100 yards. Total 6 touchdowns.
I know this sounds crazy for a guy that has a Heisman Trophy on his mantle, but Gus, I think he's actually underrated. He's as good as any quarterback in the last few years. In fact, if he was taller, 6'3", I think we would talk about him more in line with what we talked about Trevor Lawrence when he was at Clemson. He's a generational prospect and a great player.
First down and 10 at the 9-yard line. Here's Gibbs on the carry, and Gibbs breaks contain and is finally taken down. Solid run, 6 yards on first down. Thompson with the tackle.
This offensive line, they feel like, is better than a year ago. They didn't run it to their standard a year ago. They feel like they're tougher up front, and on the outside don't quite have the speed that they did a year ago, but they feel like they're deep. And keep an eye on Jahmyr Gibbs. This guy is a game breaker. He had a big run last week against Utah State, looking to get loose here today against Texas.
Second down and 4 at the 15. And some movement on that right side for Alabama.
False start, number 65. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's J.C. Latham, the sophomore from Wisconsin.
Steve has a tough task, but they will be assisted by what has been already all morning long a raucous crowd. They've been here, Gus, since 8 this morning, that student section, and they are loud.
Second down and 9 of the 10-yard line. Opening series for Alabama. Young with the give, and it's Gibbs again, squirts through the hole, and he'll pick up 7.
This defense up front, they feel like, is their strength. Some veteran guys led by Keandre Coburn, number 99. Diamante Tucker-Dorsey transfers in. He was an FCS All-American a year ago, but really DeMarvion Overshown is their best player. And in the back end, a lot of experience, including transfer from Ohio State, number 6, Ryan Watts at corner.
Third down and 2. Great opportunity for Texas to get off the field from the 17-yard line. Young swings it out. Gibbs with the first down and more before finally being crunched as he approaches the 30. That's a 10-yard gain. Thompson with the tackle.
The versatility of Jahmyr Gibbs is something that Bama will start to exploit as this season moves along. We're going to see a lot of that here today. He catches it great out of the backfield, and he's obviously very talented with the ball in his hands in space. And a nice pickup there for Alabama, even after the penalty, to move the chains.
Gibbs last week accounted for 98 total yards on 10 touches against Utah State. First down at the 27. Crimson Tide with some breathing room. And Young drops back. Gibbs again. Down the sideline. First down and more. Fast feet as he goes down after gaining 23 yards. Anthony Cook with the tackle.
Gibbs was one-on-one out there in the flat with number 13. That's Jalen Gilbo. Gilbo is a freshman, and this is what has haunted Texas's defense over the last few years, is missed tackles. And that one wasn't even really close. Gibbs just runs through it easily and is up to midfield.
Gibbs 4 touches already. First down. From midfield. This time, it's McClellan. Chase McClellan gains 4, junior from Aledo, Texas.
This offense, over the last few years has had absolute speedsters on the outside, being able to take the top off the defense like Jameson Williams did a year ago for the Tide. They don't quite have that top-end speed, but Gus, they feel like they're much better suited to control the game on the ground with Gibbs and an improved offensive line.
2nd and 6 at the 46. Young under pressure, fires, incomplete. He had pressure in his face, threw that one off his back foot. Cameron Latu, who sat out against Utah State last week, the intended receiver.
And Vernon Broughton, 45, was the one in the back end, and there's a big hit on Bryce Young early. Remember, not a big guy. He's only 6 foot, maybe 195 pounds. So Texas gets a big hit early, and now a crucial 3rd down.
Bryce Young sacked 39 times last year. 3rd and 6 at the 46. Can Texas turn him away? Young out of the gun. Young over the middle. Fires, and it's caught. Kobe Prentice, the freshman, with the 1st down after a gain of 13.
What I love here is them exploiting this space. Watch this place here, and Young just never panics. As he moves back in the pocket, he gets time to throw, and great anticipation. The ball is on the money. And Kobe Prentice, Gus, I've been talking about him all week long. He's a freshman that has really come on the scene here early in the season for this Alabama coaching staff.
1st down at the 33. Gibbs in motion out of the backfield. They swing it to him in space. Hits the sideline hard and goes out of bounds. He'll gain 5 or 6 on that play.
What I want everybody to watch today with Bryce Young is just how calm and collected he is in the pocket. Like a great point guard, Gus, in basketball, he is in control of everything. It stems from his intelligence. He's the smartest player on the field, knows where everyone is, but then he's got the instincts in the field. When those things break down, he's a wizard and can get out of the pocket and then exceptionally quick with his release and accurate throwing the ball down the field.
Young hit 8 different receivers in the 1st half last week against Utah State. 9th play of the drive. And Gibbs now around the right side. He stumbles and goes down at the 30. That'll be a tackle for a loss. Sorrell tracking him down. A loss of 4.
Well, we've seen now a couple of 3rd downs. The last time on that last set of downs, Young had all day to throw and was able to pick apart that Texas secondary. Texas is going to have to get some pressure in his face and make him uncomfortable. We'll see if they send some extra blitzers here in Young's face.
Another 3rd down. Opportunity for Texas to get off the field. Alabama needs 7 from the 30. Young with time. Young in trouble, and he'll go down. Ogofu with the sack, loss of 4, and Alabama will have to punt it away.
This is great coverage in the back end. Watch as Young is looking into the secondary. He wants to go over to his left, but terrific coverage. He can't anticipate a throw, and as he's trying to come back to his secondary receivers, they're covered up as well, and it finally allows the rush to show up, and they get him down to the ground. That's a good stop for Texas there on 3rd down.
Will Riker comes in to attempt a 52-yard field goal. Nice draw, and it is good. So Alabama scores on their opening drive, but Texas holds them to only 3 points. They'll consider that a win. Time for today's Game Flow, sponsored by Progressive. Business. AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, secure. The last time these two teams met, everything was on the line in the 2010 BCS championship game. Alabama clinched their first championship of the Nick Saban era. As you take a look at the scoring drive for Alabama, 11 plays covering 57 yards. They ate up 607. Riker matches his career long with a 52-yard field goal. Roschon Johnson, the deep man, that one goes out of the end zone for a touchback. So it brings on Quinn Ewers, freshman, and he has an interesting story.
Especially for a 19-year-old. It feels like he's been on the long road to this point where he's the starting quarterback for the University of Texas. what's so interesting about that is that long road, Gus, does not include a lot of reps on the field. Remember, he reclassified, did not play his senior year of high school, went up to Ohio State, now transferred down to Texas. So it's been a couple of years since he's gotten those game reps, those live reps. He is very inexperienced going up against what I consider to be one of the best defenses in America.
On first down at the 25, out of the gun, and they'll play action, fake it, drop it off. Sanders, such an impressive young talent. He gains 9. Branch with the tackle.
This offensive line is incredibly young. Kelvin Banks, true freshman. Cole Hudson, true freshman. Jake Majors, Hayden Conner, both first-year starters, and they're blocking for what is, I think, the best running back in America, Bijan Robinson. They've also got Xavier Worthy. Keep an eye on him. He is a burner and a speedster down the field. They're going to want to take some shots.
Second down and 2 at the 33-yard line. Robinson looking for space, spins, and picks up the first down. Some nice yards after contact. Here's the Alabama defense.
One of the best defenses in the country, and really it's about Will Anderson. He's their leader, he's their alpha, and teamed up with the other outside linebacker, Dallas Turner. This is the best pass rushing duo in America, and that's why you're going to see Texas with a lot of screens and misdirection to try to neutralize those great pass rushers. You saw it on the first play of the game, that little tight end screen, and here movement and misdirection out of the formation.
First down at the 37. And Ewers swings it out. Finds Johnson with running room. Johnson tight ropes the sideline, gets out of bounds. Flag on the play. Kool-Aid with the tackle. A 24-yard gain if this stands.
Long discussion here with the officials.
What do you think?
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 76, offense, 15-yard penalty. He's calling the foul, first down.
They've got some new rules as it relates to blindside blocks, and Hayden Conner, number 76, as the play is developing down the field, so not in the immediate action, off just that right side. You see that kind of that chip block? That's what is called, and that's what brings the ball all the way back. Those are the mistakes that you cannot make, and unfortunately, inexperienced players tend to do that. Remember, Hayden Conner in his first year as a starter, this Texas team, better part of a decade now, has really, they've been undisciplined at times, and you see it creep up here early.
First down, Ewers to the sideline. Nice throw, good catch. Xavier Worthy. Folks, this kid may be another Hollywood Brown. He's tiny.
Wait, what? You going there?
Yes, I am.
I tell you what, I'm not going to disagree with you, partner, because he can move.
Here's Ewers again, taking a deep shot. Incomplete. Worthy the target. And that's what Steve Sarkisian told us yesterday. He's going to throw it deep.
And he just never located the ball there. He had the step. Sarkisian dialed up the correct play. There is a flag back on the field, far side. I wonder if there was
Offside, number 31. The defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Steve Sarkisian knows that he's going to have to be aggressive against this Bama defense. He's going to have misdirection on early downs to try to stay on schedule, and then he wants to take the shots. And his coaching point to his young quarterback, Gus, was very clear. When I call him, be confident, trust me, and take those shots down the field.
First down and 5 at the 43. Robinson in the backfield. They give it to him, breaks a tackle, trying to get outside, bottled up, and finally goes down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Helms with the tackle for Alabama. Tim Smith in there as well.
And this is one of those scenarios. You've got second and short, essentially, on the plus side of the 50. Nick Saban knows it. This is a classic time to try to dial up one of those shots and get somebody down the field.
Second down and 4 at the 42, opening series for Texas. And they hand it off Robinson, trying to skip through the hole. He'll gain 2 yards on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and short. Third and 2. Robinson, and he is gobbled up immediately. Flag on the play. Beautiful job by this Alabama defense.
Offside, number 31. Defense, from the neutral zone. That 5-yard penalty is enough for a first down.
That's Will Anderson again.
Man, and that is a big mistake for a guy that is so experienced and such a good player. Now, a couple in the first series, and that is not going to make Nick Saban happy. After a great play by Jalen Moody, watch 42. He gets himself right up the field, stops Robinson in his tracks, but Anderson was lined up offside, and Texas will stay on the field.
First down at the 35. Texas moving the football. Ewers on the play fake, lets it fly, got a man! Incomplete, it was Worthy. He was open.
This is a great throw from Ewers in the back of the end zone. Watch as Worthy's going down, and the ball's going to hop up right there. Doesn't have control. Clearly out before he recontrols the ball. Cannon goes off a little prematurely there. Boy, they had it dialed up, and it's clear. Worthy is going to be targeted down the field all day long. That is a mismatch for Texas.
Second down and 10 at the 35. Empty backfield for Ewers. Ewers to the sideline, guns it in, a nice grab. That's Whittington going up high. Jordan Whittington, the junior. And he brings it down, a gain of 8.
Well, that's a big completion on the sideline. One, because he had to go upstairs to get it, so a great catch. Because it keeps them in 3rd and short here. And having the full disposal of their playbook is exactly what Steve Sarkisian needs against this defensive front.
3rd down 2 at the 27. Ewers sprints out of the pocket, fires on the move, and it's a first down. Easy little play. Jordan Whittington again. And he'll pick up the first.
I got to tell you, on this opening series, I'm really impressed with Quinn Ewers so far. Does not seem panicked, is not playing too fast, and every time he's had the ability to throw the ball, he's thrown it pretty accurate. Even the shots down the field, they've been on the money. Worthy was just unable to bring that one in the back of the end zone, and here, the young kid playing pretty well against Bama.
First down at the 23. Ewers flicks it out. Nice catch. Whittington again turns it up, picks up another first inside the Alabama 10. Kool-Aid with the tackle. Texas having no problems moving the ball on this Alabama defense. That's a gain of 14 yards.
Texas today has got to have 12 men on the field. Who's the 12th? Steve Sarkisian. He's got to have the best game of his life calling plays.
Bijan Robinson around the corner. And it'll be slung out of bounds after crossing the line of scrimmage, gains 2. Helms ushers him out of play.
And Steve knows that. Sark knows that. He knows that he's got to neutralize that defensive line like Urban was talking about in the pregame show. He knows he's got to be creative getting Bijan Robinson the ball. He knows he's got to take shots and make his young quarterback comfortable. And so far in the opening series, he's done a good job of that.
Second down and goal at the 8-yard line. Ewers looking, lobs it. Incomplete. That one thrown a little bit high for Jatavion Sanders. And they're really, really excited about this young man and his talent.
They should be, Gus. He is, you know how I always say this? He's a dude.
Yes.
I mean, this dude is a dude. And he can play. He was a former 5-star recruit, #1 athlete in the class, 13th overall, just a sophomore. And Jatavion Sanders is a guy that they're going to need to target because he's a matchup problem for the defense. He's too big for safeties and corners and too quick for linebackers.
Had 6 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown last week. 13th play of the drive. And a timeout called by Alabama. Nick Saban doesn't like what he's seeing from his defense. Ewers on the drive, 6 of 8, 64 yards. More importantly, they're eating up a lot of clock and keeping that Alabama offense off the field. But can they pay it off on 3rd down and goal? The fade in the corner. And incomplete. Sanders was the target. Kool-Aid there to break it up.
Great coverage by McKinstry here. Sophomore from Birmingham. Jatavian is big, and there's a lot of contact there. The officials let him play through it. Probably could have seen a flag, and yeah, on that look, there's absolutely should have been a flag there. Missed by the officials, and Bama gets away with an interference in the end zone, and Texas will have to settle for a field goal.
So Bert Auburn comes in to attempt a 26-yard field goal. Got it up and good. And we are level at 3 up. 2:51 to go in the first quarter. Steve Sarkisian going against his mentor. Around famous guys here. Terrell Owens. He's 48 years old, folks, and I saw on social media last week that he just ran a 4.4 40-yard dash. Kevin Durant, NBA legend, and UT basketball player. Here's Gibbs. He'll bring it. And he gets knocked down hard. Beautiful job on special teams. That's Ryan Watts with the tackle. But here comes Bryce Young and the Alabama offense. Our game level at 3 here in Austin, Texas. Financial security for more than 150 years. Bear Bryant and Darrell Royal became good friends early in their careers, being in different conferences. Their matchups were few and far between, the final being in the 1973 Cotton Bowl. Royal never lost to Bryant. Nick Saban following in the legendary footsteps of the Bear. Steve Sarkisian trying to build something here at the University of Texas. 1st and 10 at the 19. And they hand it off. McClellan. And McClellan! He could go! Burst of speed! Jace McClellan inside the 20. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. 81 yards. Explosiveness.
What a great run, but how about the right side of this offensive line? Ekiyor, the tight end, Latu is out there as well. You've got Latham, huge hole, and there McClellan is gone as soon as he got the step. He turned on the jets, and no one's going to catch him. Excellent job up front by that offensive line. Remember, folks, they feel like they are much better than they were a year ago, and they prove it there.
Alabama scores in 13 seconds. Jace McClellan, 5 carries, 23 yards. Last week, he did have 2 touchdowns. But this week, a big one, 81 yards. And Alabama with the lead on the road.
Hi.
And don't forget, folks, coming up next on Fox, the Pac-12 goes head-to-head with the Big Ten as Washington State takes on 19th-ranked Wisconsin. Catch all the action next on Fox. McClellan with an 81-yard run, the longest of his career. He had an 80-yard run against Arkansas in 2020. This one goes into the end zone for a touchback. There's a big gap between these two programs since their championship game.
Gus, that national championship, it's been one direction for one program, the other for the other. 101 weeks as the #1 team in the country. Since then, Texas 0 and 40 first-round draft picks for Alabama. Only 3 for Texas. And Gus, you know the last offensive player to get drafted in the first round by the University of Texas?
Vince Young.
That's crazy. And the other side with Nick Saban, they have been a factory.
First down at the 25 for Ewers. And he'll keep it on the ground. Robinson still looking for daylight.
Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. This running back, Bijan Robinson, he is doing some special things here at Texas. In their first 20 games, Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams, Bijan Robinson, the class of those three would be Bijan Robinson. More yards, more touchdowns. Both of those great running backs, of course, have a Heisman Trophy. We'll see if Bijan can have a big day today and put himself in line with potentially winning that trophy this year.
10 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Last week, Ewers underneath, and it's a catch. Whittington digs it out of the turf.
Oh, what a great catch here from Whittington. Was he able to secure it? Yeah, arms under it. Beautiful job by a former five-star player who's had a heck of a time staying on the field. 4 years here at Texas, has played in only 15 games, now 16.
Ryan Branch covering. Play fake. Deep drop. Ewers looking. Ewers throws it. Nice grab. Whittington again. So a steady diet of Jordan Whittington. DeMarco Helms with the tackle. A 17-yard pickup.
Watch as Ewers is going to have to wait. This is not what he wants against this pass rush. He wants to go down the field, but then great job by Whittington to break off his route to go back to the left, and he's able to find him and get the completion right before Toa comes in there and hits him from that linebacker position. What a great completion for Quinn Ewers there, buying a little bit of time and then getting down the field. And Helms was shaken up on that tackle, and you see him bring down Whittington there around the 50-yard line. Helms is a senior.
Out of Washington, D.C., legendary DeMatha High School.
He's played a lot of football for the Tide. Third on the team last year with 87 tackles, 3 interceptions. They do feel like this safety group is deep. Brian Branch, 14. They feel like might be their best safety, although Jordan Battle certainly have something to say about that. He's the one that gets all the awards, but DeMarco Helms shaken up there.
And don't forget, you can find all of Joel's Breaking the Huddle content, including his weekly top 10 rankings at foxsports.com, the Fox Sports app, and CFB on Fox social platforms. First down at the 49 for the University of Texas. Worthy in motion. He's a danger. Here's Ewers. Winds up. Lets it go. Worthy! Oh, he got it inside the 5. This kid is special. All 164 pounds of him. That's a gain of 46.
I think this is going to go against the defense. There was definitely a grab late.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 6. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. And the end of the run. First down.
That's Kyrie Jackson.
Take a look at when Ewers throws this ball. This is great anticipation on the deep ball, and frankly something that he didn't show last week in his first start. Look at where the receivers are. He just lets this one go down the field. You talk about trusting the shot down the field, and there's Worthy in his speed showing up, and he beats Kyrie Jackson down the field. And Kyrie, he had a tough national championship game against Georgia. Late in that ball game when Bama was up by 1, he got beat a couple of times, and Ewers is ready to go. And these Longhorn fans needed something after that quick touchdown by the Tide on the last series.
Texas calls a timeout. Facing a first down and goal. Something about this kid Worthy. As I mentioned, partner, he reminds me of Hollywood Brown. He had 261 receiving yards in the Red River game last year, including the game-tying score with 1:23 remaining.
You know, what I love, Gus, is that it wasn't just a game here or there for the freshman, which is what you see from young players on the year. He set Texas freshman records with 62 catches, almost 1,000 yards, and 12 touchdowns. So this dude can play now, and you're seeing the Jets here against the Tide.
First down and goal at the 1-yard line for the Longhorns. Bijan Robinson, the deep back. Ewers sprinting out, reverses, lets it go wisely, and just throws it out of the end zone. and a flag. And Ewers is down.
Dallas Turner was in with the pressure. The sophomore, and took him down hard.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 15. Defense. Punishment, driving the quarterback into the ground. Half the distance of the goal, automatic, first down.
Hudson Card, former starter, is the backup to Ewers. Turner really laid his body on Ewers when he hit the ground.
And he hit shoulder first. Gus, anybody that's played the position knows you go down shoulder first like that. That is a recipe for collarbone, AC joint, those shoulder injuries. I've certainly had it. Matt Leinart's had it. Anybody that's played at this level has certainly had that. And Hudson Card now, who lost the battle in fall camp, is going to get his time. Last year, Gus, he was 51 of 83 for 590 yards. Remember, he started the season before Casey Thompson took over. But certainly a lot of concern here for the Texas faithful, in particular with how well Quinn played here so far in this first quarter. Did not seem like the stage was too big for the young quarterback.
Reminds you that play in the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens and Oakland Raiders when Tony Siragusa, rest in peace, landed on Rich Gannon.
And that is a terrible feeling for Ewers. He's just trying to get himself into a place where he can throw that ball away, and then there's the hit. I don't think, clearly Turner didn't do that maliciously. He's trying to get in there and get the hit. They throw the flag. I don't necessarily agree with the flag. It's a big hit, and yes, he's going into the ground, but he was in the air. There's nothing that Turner could do except hit him, and yeah, he landed on him. He didn't drive him into the ground, so certainly not malicious from the talented outside linebacker, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale.
Well, there's an old saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. We will see if Hudson Card is ready. 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter. First down and goal. Out of the I formation. Robinson, the deep man. They've got to give it to him. And they do. Robinson, submarines. Did he get in?
It was awfully close. He lost his footing there on that inside step. Watch as he tries to cut with his left foot. And right there, he loses his footing. And he's trying to extend for the goal line, but that elbow goes down. Great call by the official. He's on top of it, just short of the goal line. And it'll be second down for Texas.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the score 10-3. But Texas knocking on the door on the 1-yard line of Alabama. Coming up the second quarter from Austin right after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Welcome back to Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. The last time they played Alabama, the Crimson Tide knocked out Colt McCoy early in the game to win the national championship at the Rose Bowl in 2010. That was a shoulder injury, too, on his passing shoulder. Fortunately for Ewers, it looks like his non-passing shoulder. Second down and goal at the 1. Here's Robinson, and he'll walk into the end zone for a touchdown. Bijan Robinson. And the Longhorns pay it off. As we start the second quarter, they have a chance to level this game at 10.
Great job by that left side of the offensive line, including the tight end. Watch Gunnar Helm. He's going to get on the outside here, and he's got Brian Branch, and that's the key block. Good lead block by 90, and then Robinson is able to get the edge easily and find the end zone.
And the extra point up and good. 6 plays covering 75 yards. And it took them 2 minutes and 39 seconds to score. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, obviously, Quinn Ewers out right now, and he was walking off, towel on his head, clearly disappointed. It was his emotion going into the tent that really stood out to me, kicking the trash can. He wasn't holding that non-throwing shoulder at all, but you could tell just how frustrated he was, and the emotion was seeping out of him. He's obviously gone back to the locker room. I anticipate some x-rays, further evaluation, and when he returns, or I can get an update, I'll keep you guys posted.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Stay cool down there. I know it's warm, but Card, it's his ball game for right now on offense. And the good thing for Texas fans, he does have plenty of experience.
He sure does. And I think the hard part is just how well Quinn was playing. That's why you sense right now the air kind of getting taken out of this building, 100,000 getting awfully quiet. Remember, folks, Quinn Ewers was one of the best prospects that we have ever seen. A lot of the rating systems there, rating recruits out of high school, had him as 1,000. We haven't seen a 1,000 rating for a high school recruit since Vince Young. It's been 20 years. So he was certainly living up to those expectations early today. Pacific Life game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Well, this is what our first quarter looked like. Pretty even. Those rush yards, though, helped out for Alabama by the long run, the touchdown run from McClellan. That got the scoring going for them. In Texas,
Young and the Crimson Tide at the 25. Gibbs, McClellan in the backfield. Remember, McClellan just ran one 81 yards for a score. And they'll give it to him. He gets downhill and is chopped down after a 4-yard gain. And McClellan getting up slowly.
he took a big hit from Jaron Thompson, number 28, who came flying up from his safety position. Here's Thompson, and this is a major league collision here. You see the head goes down for McClellan, and Thompson hits him with that left shoulder. And McClellan certainly slow getting up. Thompson, he's a guy had 41 tackles in 3 starts a year ago, and someone that they're high on. I was talking with their safeties coach, Blake Gideon, and he said Jaron Thompson is a guy that they are relying on this defense.
We'll step away. Thus far, folks. 10-10. Alabama favored by 20. Texas fighting. Roydell Williams checks in at running back for the Crimson Tide. Gibbs motions into the backfield. Young deep in the pocket. Underneath, almost intercepted. Wow. Deshaun Jameson just couldn't hold on.
Jameson had a huge pick 6 a week ago against Louisiana Monroe, and here he sat on the route, jumps the route, and he's inside of Ja'Cory Brooks there. He's got it right in his grasp. He might have had 6 on that one if he was able to bring that one in. Poor decision there from Bryce Young.
3rd down and 6 at the 29. Here comes the crowd. Young looking over the middle, and it's Gibbs for 1st down. This kid is so versatile. He can run it between the tackles. He can catch it in the flats. He can go over the middle and grab it as well.
Those that really know college football, when he transferred from Georgia Tech to Alabama, our eyebrows went up. It's like, okay, wow, they've got somebody. He is very talented, and like you said, versatile, and he's the biggest mismatch on the field right now for Alabama.
He says his inspiration is Christian McCaffrey. Young rolling out, buying time, incomplete. Latu, the closest man to the football. Young waited until the last moment to get rid of that.
You know, the advantage that the Tide have right now is up front. The offensive line has been really mauling the defensive line for Texas, but Texas in the secondary, Gus, they've been able to cover up those wide receivers. Ryan Watts, Deshaun Jameson, those safeties, they've done a nice job forcing Bryce Young to hold the football. So Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, I expect him to start to lean into the run game here as this game goes along in the second quarter.
Second down and long. Gibbs. And Gibbs met at the 40. Hit hard by Tucker Dorsey.
This is exactly what Texas needs, is these obvious passing situations. And again, the pressure is on the corners and the safeties to cover up these wide receivers and give the defensive line and the pass rushers time to get to Bryce Young.
Remember, Bryce Young can run the football as well. He had 100 yards rushing last week. He's a reluctant runner. Third down and 7 at the 40. Burton, who's been quiet, motions. Young, flag on the play.
Ball start.
Ball start, number 65. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
This noise is a factor for Nick Saban and the Tide. Remember, they do not do this often in the non-conference, play these true road games. And last year in true road games, they didn't play great. 2-point win against Florida, a loss against Texas A&M, 4 overtimes against Auburn. The only place they played really well was Mississippi State, 49-9. So they are not dealing with the elements very well here from an operational standpoint.
Already 7 penalties against Alabama, only 1 against Texas. Third down and 12 at the 35. And a timeout called by Alabama. Looks like a flag as well.
The second timeout.
But they did get the timeout. Timeout, Crimson Tide, 10-10. Third down coming up. Texas, Alabama. What a rich tradition in the few games they've played. Alabama, though, 7 penalties already today. They only had 6 versus Utah State last week. Crimson Tide faced with the third down and 12 at the 35. They're 3 of 4 on third down conversions. Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner. He'll let it fly. Young underneath, caught, and it's a first down. Cameron Latu, who sat out last week, but is in action today, a gain of 14.
Love the play call there for Bill O'Brien, and now they'll get into some tempo, try to work out some of those kinks here offensively that we've seen.
First down and 10 at the 49-yard line. This time they'll go out wide, Holden, and he's gobbled up quickly. Anthony Cook, great open field tackle. A loss of 2.
And you better be committed if you're a defensive back. Watch as Cook comes all the way from his safety spot and just burns up the field right when he sees that little screen pass, and he's there right when Holden catches the football and makes the tackle.
Second down and 11 at the 48. Young with an empty backfield. Latu crosses. They look that side. Ball caught by Burton, and he's wrapped up quickly. Great swarming to the ball. Ryan Watts finally brings him down after a 2-yard gain.
I'm really surprised that Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, didn't stick to the run game there on first and second down. They've been really owning the line of scrimmage, and the corners and safeties, the secondary for Texas, has done a nice job in coverage. They went pass, good coverage, and now Bryce Young struggling with communication. Again, look, he had to run all the way out to his wide receivers.
Third down and 9 at midfield. Watch Gibbs in space. Here's Young in trouble, and he'll go down. Jalen Ford. Shot out of a cannon. A loss of 11, and that gets Nick Saban pacing. And listen to this crowd, the Texas defense. Their confidence is growing.
Nobody accounts for the middle linebacker. That's a huge mistake. I got to think Gibbs missed his assignment there as he's going all the way over to the right side. He's got to be in kind of a scan protection there where you go inside to outside. Ford is right there, right in Bryce Young's face, and he gets a sack.
So James Burnip will punt it away, standing at the 25. And Xavier Worthy, the deep man. Alabama looking a little shaky. Another penalty flag. And that gets the old ball coach.
Ball start, number 37. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4 count.
Old coach is not happy.
And you know who knows exactly what it's like to be on the other end of those butt chewings? Steve Sarkisian. Exactly. He's looking over there thinking to himself, I remember that.
Burnip backs up to the 20. Worthy moves up to his own 20. Will he get a shot? And he has it at the 15. Good special teams coverage by Alabama. A 49-yard punt, no return. So here comes Card in for Ewers. We don't have an update on Ewers' status so far. As soon as Jenny knows something, she will tell us.
Hudson's been here for 3 years. Smart guy. Started the first 2 games last year before giving way to Casey Thompson. Big recruit out of high school, 4-star out of Lake Travis right here in Austin. And this, Gus, is baptism by fire.
First down at the 15-yard line for Texas. Card with the handoff. And it's Robinson. Jitterbuggy crosses the line. Extra effort gets him to the 20. Flag on the play, however. Helms back in the game along with Jalen Moody combining on the tackle.
Illegal formation. More than 4 in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
One of the things that Sark fully understands is he has got to stay out of these long yardage situations, even if it's first down. We call it behind the chains. You got to stay on schedule.
And I thought it was interesting what he said yesterday is when he stays ahead of schedule, he knows that's going to get Coach Saban irate on the sideline.
That's exactly right. And then what does he start doing? Yelling at the assistants over the headset.
First down and 15. And Robinson, that nice forward lean. Helms again. And he'll gain 7.
Well, we're going to know everything we need to know about Hudson Card and how effective he'll be the first time they decide to take a shot with him down the field. Ewers was anticipating and throwing it accurately down the field. And at some point, Sark's going to dial it up for his backup as well.
2nd and 8 at the 17. Card with time, steps up in the pocket, in trouble now. Starts to run, high stepping, look at Hudson Card. As he gets out of bounds, looks like he has the first down in front of Jalen Moody.
It looked like he wanted one of those shots there, but this is a great presence in the pocket. Gets away from Will Anderson, and then right there's the high step, Gus. And he steps away and he gets out of bounds for a first down. In particular, after that first down penalty, heck of a run right there from Hudson Card.
Tell you what, if a 6'3", 300 man was chasing me, I think I'd try to run just like Hudson Card. DJ Dale is a big dude. First down and 10 of the 26. Here's the pitch. They try to go outside with Robinson, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Young, first man to him.
And the run game, straight run game for Texas just isn't there. This front for Alabama is too good. Those guys up front, you already mentioned DJ Dale, Byron Young, Tim Smith. These guys can play now. They've got a freshman that they really love as well. As soon as he comes in, everybody in America is going to know what I'm talking about because Jaheim Otis might be the biggest man I've ever seen.
6'5", 370. 2nd down and 12 at the 24. Roschon Johnson in the backfield. They give it to Johnson, and he'll be tackled for a loss on back-to-back plays. A little pushing and shoving going on at the end, at the bottom of the pile, rather. And Brian Branch First man to him.
Well, this is the exact situation Alabama wants to be in. Sarkisian knows he's got to avoid, and here they are. Hudson Card is going to be staring at the best two pass rushers in college football. Dallas Turner on one side. He'll be closest to you, number 15. And at the top of your screen is going to be 31, Will Anderson.
Third down and 14 at the 22. Card, short pass. Johnson with the catch, and he'll crawl past the line of scrimmage. Eboigbe brings him down, and that will force Texas to punt it away.
And a very conservative series there from Steve Sarkisian. Certainly not what we saw when his starter Quinn Ewers was in the game. And an acknowledgement on 3rd and long that he wants to stay away from those great pass rushers with the quick screen on the outside.
Kool-Aid McKinstry back deep. Trejo will punt it away.
A penalty marker. False start. Offense. Not all 11 plays were set before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
You know, something to pay attention to here is last week the snap was low several times and they dropped it in the backfield, and now you've certainly got a little bit of pressure here as they're inside the 20.
Daniel Trejo backed up inside his own 5. Delivers. Kool-Aid lets it take a bounce, picks it up, and goes down at the 45. 37-yard punt. 10-10 our score, under 6 to play in the first half from Austin, Texas. You're absolutely right, Robert. First down to the 45. Here's the run, McClellan. Nice tackle again after a 2-yard gain by Jalen Ford. I like how this Texas defense is starting to rally as this game goes on.
Yeah, the 2nd and 3rd level, they've done a nice job. You know, they haven't missed too many tackles. I don't really count 1, maybe 2 missed tackles so far. The defensive line has got to continue to hold up. Pete Kwiatkowski has done a nice job here. You know, he was criticized pretty heavily in the offseason, but Sarkisian held him here, kept him, and they're playing better here.
On 2nd down, Gibbs hits the corner and will get out of bounds short of the 1st down, chased by Overshown. And they need this man to have a good game today.
He's really their athletic and emotional leader. He's the one that has the length and the speed. But it's pretty clear to me that the mismatch that Bama has, it's just different when Gibbs is touching the ball. And here on 3rd down, I get the sense that they're going to go back to Gibbs in some fashion, whether they throw it to him, toss it to him, hand it to him. He's the one that's been the best player on the field so far today for Alabama.
3rd down and 3 at the 48. Gibbs in motion. Young underneath. Incomplete. Kobe Prentice may have taken his eyes off the football. And now Alabama has a decision to make. Will they punt it away?
Well, this is a mistake from the wide receiver as Prentice is coming around. Watch as he's got zone coverage. What does that mean? You got to sit down in the hole right there. He continues across, and he's coming across, and Bryce Young is expecting him to sit, give his numbers, and an easy completion, and that's a mistake on the adjustment of the route for the young wide receiver.
Xavier Worthy back deep as Burnham end over end kick. And it'll bounce backwards and out of bounds around the 15-yard line. 33-yard punt. 10-10 our score. Late in the first half. Here comes Card. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Cadillac. Be iconic. And by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 and Z Flip 4. Texas's defense forced the 2nd punt in a row after giving up a field goal and a touchdown. And how about this? Last time these two teams played, Colt McCoy went out of the game. That was the national championship. And here's what happened today.
Well, Texas fans have got to be thinking to themselves, oh my goodness, not again. You ask any Texas fan and they say we would have won that national championship because Colt was going to be our leader. And you ask Bama fans and they say nope, Marcel Darius and that group was going to win anyway.
Here's Card. Underneath, delivers a strike at the 30. Xavier Worthy the X-Men, a gain of 15. And that's a confidence builder for Hudson Card.
I was waiting for a nickname to come out. I was waiting.
We'll see. First down at the 30, play fake again. Card sets up, fires a deep ball. Oh, incomplete. Worthy the target, but right in his hip pocket was Terrion Arnold.
Terrion Arnold was in a battle to be the starting cornerback, but he's clearly tugging on that shoulder of Xavier Worthy, and the officials have allowed Bama to get away with a few. Look at him. He clearly pulls his shoulder back, draws himself even to jump up over and make a play, and Worthy can't go make a play on the ball. That is a clear miss by the officials, and we've seen that 2 times, both on the left side of the field. Left side of the end zone first, and now deep down the left side here.
Second down and 10 at the 30-yard line. And they'll run it. Robinson. And that's what Steve Sarkisian told us. He said, we're going to throw it deep. Either we'll get a big play or maybe a pass interference penalty. And that can help our momentum.
Well, he certainly should have got one on that first series in the end zone, and probably should have gotten one there. But it is something to note that that first series for Card in a full series, Steve Sarkisian was certainly cautious with him. But here he comes out firing down the field. Beautiful completion to Xavier Worthy, and there tries to go deep again.
Third down and 9 at the 31. Card in trouble. Card better get rid of it. Card does. He's out of the tackle box, so that's an incomplete pass. Great pressure by Kool-Aid. I love this kid. He is a talent. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
And he just got this out. The flag's going to come out, though, Gus. It doesn't matter that he was outside the tackle box because the ball did not go past the line of scrimmage. And this is what a quarterback has got to understand. You can't wait until the last second. You've got to, as soon as you don't have anything, throw that ball all the way into the stands once you're outside the pocket. He gets out there, kind of in the grasp, and that ball was short of the line of scrimmage. So the flag came out. Now it's 4th and 21.
Daniel Trejo punting from the 5. McKinstry, the deep man for Alabama, and he'll signal for the fair catch, and he has it at the 45-yard line, a 36-yard punt. 3:14 remaining. Critics call Monarch Empire meets Nashville meets Succession. The first family of music will do anything to protect their legacy. Susan Sarandon, Trace Atkins, and Anna Friel star. The unforgettable series premiere of Monarch is finally here tomorrow after the NFL on Fox.
Gus, second straight series that Bama's going to have great field position. Texas's defense certainly answered the call on that last series, and now we'll see what Bama's answer is. Again, Gus, you and I think both agree here. Jahmyr Gibbs is the one that they got to feature. He's the one that is the mismatch and been the best player so far for Bama.
First down at the 45. Young drops back, steps up, drops it off, and it's McClellan. And McClellan chopped down quickly, 2-yard gain. Once again, great open field tackle. This time it's Tucker Dorsey.
Well, this coverage has been great on the back end, these safeties, these corners. And it should be noted, Bama is not what they have been at wide receiver. They've had a unbelievable lineage of wide receivers, and in particular speed in the last couple of years. They do not have that top-end speed on the outside this year.
2nd and 8 at the 47. And it's Gibbs. He slips, crosses the line of scrimmage, gains a yard in front of Ojamo. Brings up 3rd down and 7. Texas has forced back-to-back punts from this Alabama offense. 3rd down, 7 at the 48. Young looking, Young scrambling, Young throws on the move and incomplete. He had a man, Isaiah Bond. That ball was on a rope. Bond just unable to hold on.
Well,
How about this Texas defense?
They have been so good, Gus, and the coverage has been so good. Look how long Young had in the pocket, and he gets out, and that's where he's Houdini, though. He finds some free space and delivers a dime down the field, and the freshman Isaiah Bond does not come up with it. He's a speedster, 10-5 and 100, but can't catch it there.
Burnham, Worthy, the deep man, has it, and it's fair caught at the 12. I'll tell you what, when you look, the thing that's different to me this year, Joel, about Texas, when you go through the roster, and this is my 12th consecutive year covering the University of Texas, this year, 98% of the players are all from Texas.
Listen, this is one of those rare places where
the most fertile recruiting ground in the country.
Well, I think that there's probably only 4 places in the country where you don't have to get on a plane as a head coach and you can have a #1 class in the country. I think it's USC, it's Texas, it's Miami, and maybe Georgia, and maybe A&M get thrown in there as well. So maybe 5, Gus, but certainly this is one of them.
First down and 10 at the 12. Robinson.
I think if Steve Sarkisian had his wishes here, he'd just run this clock out and take a 10-10, in particular with his backup quarterback. Now, that being said,
that'd be a huge win.
It would be a win, but that being said, this guy, he'll roll the dice now, and if he gets a one-on-one with Worthy on the outside, he'll take a shot.
Worthy, the receiver at the top of your screen. Anderson may have jumped offside.
Offside for the 31. Defense making a movement. Each call for the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Will Anderson's been a little jumpy today.
Yeah, lined up offside a couple of times there. Jumps on that first clap. 9 first-half penalties today for the Crimson Tide. That's the most since 2010.
First down, hand it off, Robinson. And Robinson crawling forward, almost popped free. Would gain 3 yards, but the clock keeps running. Remember, Alabama was favored coming into this game by 20 points. And our score right now, 10-10, and that's with Ewers being knocked out of the game. You just think what would have happened if he would have been able to stay in the game, because Texas was finding a rhythm. Second down. Here's Robinson. Hits the edge. Robinson cuts it up. Robinson lowers his shoulder and gets out of bounds. Where do they need to go to get in field goal range, Joel?
Well, I think that they're probably thinking that they would take a shot with a field goal if they can get to the 38-yard line, 36-yard line. But now you certainly are going to take a shot with 2 timeouts after Bijan Robinson's able to pop that run on the right side. They can start to be aggressive. Now, it's important, though. Hudson Card has got to understand he can't take a chance with the football, because 10-10 at half is still way better than a pick 6 and going in with your head down.
First down.
Ball start, number 54. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's a freshman, Cole Hudson.
Well, that makes this much tougher.
Still 2 timeouts. Bert Auburn is the kicker. He booted a 41-yard field goal in last week's opener. He replaces Cameron Dicker. First down and long. Card, sideline, throw, he's got it! Robinson, down at the 20. 43 yards, and they're in field goal range.
That's a beautiful design. They got the matchup they wanted. Bijan Robinson on the outside linebacker. Dallas Turner down that right side.
22 seconds to go. Card to the sideline. Nice throw. They get out of bounds with Sanders. They'll add a few more yards.
There's the matchup on that right side on the big play. You see Dallas Turner is in man. and Bijan just runs right by him, and Hudson Card delivers a good ball, and Bijan stays on his feet even though he had a spin to catch that ball, and now they're in business here inside the 20.
Second down and 9. Card pumps in the corner. Incomplete, and the flag, and this is going to go against Alabama. I tell you what, these Alabama DBs have been doing a lot of holding and grabbing.
Well, I think every SEC fan watching right now says, I know. I mean, that's part of the deal. They're going to force the official to make the call.
Number 1, defense, spot foul.
And in particular, when you start looking at those double move routes, here's Kane. He goes inside, then outside. Clear grab by Kool-Aid McKinstry, and then the flag comes out.
So not only does Texas have an opportunity to kick a field goal, Steve Sarkisian's going to throw caution to the wind. He's going to try to get this ball in the end zone.
Well, he's got a couple of snaps here with 12 seconds left, and he still has those timeouts, so he can call anything that he wants here. He can go short of the sticks, he can go into the end zone. He just can't take a chance with the ball.
First down and 10 at the 15. 12 seconds left. Robinson, the motion man. Card in the corner again for Sanders, and another flag. Back-to-back pass interference calls against Alabama.
And here they're trying to
pass interference. Number 1. Defense. Got a foul happening in the end zone. They put the ball at the 2-yard line. Automatic. First down.
That wasn't as much contact as you've seen previous, but clearly contact, and prevented Sanders from making a play on the ball. And because that happens in the end zone, now they're all the way down at the 2-yard line. But with 8 seconds left, it's still iffy if you want to run the ball just in terms of the time that you want to take off the clock. But they do have the 2 timeouts, so they can stop the clock if needed.
11th penalty of the first half for Alabama. First down and goal at the 2. Can Texas punch it in? Card sprints out, looks, fires! Incomplete. Xavier Worthy couldn't get a foot in bounds with 3 seconds left.
Oh, and now is the decision that you got to make. Do you want to take the 3 points and take the lead? And I think he's going to. And they will send the kicking unit on the field. What a great series there from Hudson Card, wasn't it?
Yes. He did a wonderful job. Bert Auburn replacing Cameron Dicker.
Another reason that was a huge series, they get the kick to receive the second half.
This one from 20 yards away for the lead. Bad snap, and he snapped it. He hooked it. Texas with a golden opportunity. And that's how the first half ends.
They missed a field goal last week because of a poor snap. This one, Hudson Card is in there, and he tries to get those laces away.
And that ball may have been tipped as well.
But boy, that one was way off to the left.
So we head to halftime with the score. Texas 10, Alabama 10. Who would have expected this? Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Coach, quickly, will we see Quinn Ewers again?
I'm not sure yet.
What's the adjustments you make with your offense with Hudson Card in the mix here?
We're just going to run our stuff. He's good to go.
You wanted to see Coach Saban frustrate his coordinators. You know the feeling. How do you keep this thing going?
Well, we just got to keep playing hard. I'm proud of our effort right now.
Okay, thanks for the update.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. 10-10. Our score at the break. Don't forget, after the break, join Rob Stone and the guys with the State Farm Halftime Show right here from Texas Memorial Stadium.
Let's go, yeah. White arrows will break the black night. But don't overthink it.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Welcome back to Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Look at the halftime score. 10-10. Alabama and Texas level as we hit the third quarter. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. I don't think anybody expected this. And here's my observation, partner. When you look at Texas, it looks like their athleticism is really starting to improve, especially compared to last year. And their DBs are really covering well.
Yeah, I mean, that's been really the story of the first half in a large regard, allowing that pass rush to get home on Bryce Young. But I got to tell you, I've been impressed with Texas's defense overall. You know, not just their ability to cover, but tackle as well. Let's take a look at our second half connection, brought to you by AT&T Business. AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. This was really, Gus, the only play that I felt like Texas really broke down. McClellan goes around the edge. Terrific blocking on that right side of the offensive line. And then he was gone. One missed tackle, and McClellan took it to the house. And from that point on, this was the injury. Dallas Turner, kind of that clear roughing the passer, drives him into the ground. Good call by the officials. Then Bijan Robinson comes back. 1-yard touchdown run. Gets them all tied up after a great series from Hudson Card to put him in position for points going into halftime. They missed the field goal, but Steve Sarkisian's got to be pleased, because one thing he told Ginny, and Ginny said at the beginning of the show, he didn't want his team to be enamored with Alabama. He wanted them to be enamored with themselves, and that's certainly how they've played.
And with that in mind, let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, this is my first conversation with Coach Saban, and I can tell you guys, he wasn't happy. He said that was not Alabama football. We did not play well. We did not execute well. We did not play our brand. And I simply said, Coach, can they change it? And he looked at me and said, we will see, because he is not happy with this, guys. You could feel the energy coming out from that locker room. Now, I know everyone wants a Quinn Ewers update for Texas. I can confirm it's that left shoulder that they are evaluating. Zero sign of Quinn around the stadium at the locker room. So that is the latest from Texas. Coach Sarkisian does not like to provide those in-game injury updates.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Great job. Penalties a problem for Alabama in that first half. 11 penalties for 58 yards, 5 penalties for only 30 for Texas.
And more so, it wasn't just the amount of penalties, but 6 of them were mental errors, defensive offside or false start. That's certainly not something that you would expect from a Nick Saban coach team.
Early morning game?
Maybe. I will say, Alabama is not used to playing a big game at this time of day, and they're an afternoon practice time. Nick Saban is one of the most self-disciplined persons out there, any walk of life, and they are regimented in the way that they prepare every single week. So it's not like he was going to change practice schedule this week because of an 11 a.m. local kickoff. Meanwhile, Texas, they play Red River at this time, almost every year.
Reichert sends it away. Roschon Johnson bobbles it, picks it up at the 10, and he'll get close to the 15 before being brought down. So Hudson Card back on the field. He will start the second half in place of Quinn Ewers.
I just want to see if he can build on the confidence of what that last series was before halftime, because they were clearly going to just run out the clock and hit, but then all of a sudden Bijan pops a run, then they get the nice pass down the field. He throws a couple of other great passes over the course of that series, and his confidence has got to be running high right now after the way that they finished that first half.
First down from the 15. And they'll hand it off to Robinson. He's bottled up, and he'll be dropped for maybe a 5-yard loss. Will Anderson with pressure. And that's a loss of 4.
Will Anderson, what I love about it is he's one of the most talented players on the field. Here he is at left defensive end, but he plays about as hard as anybody out there. Watch him run down Bijan Robinson from that left side. Nowhere for Robinson to go. That's one thing that everybody talks about Will Anderson. Yes, he's talented, but it's about the effort that he gives. And that combination, he turns into a supernova.
The likely #1 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. 2nd and 14. Here's Card. Drops it off near side. It's a catch by Robinson. And he makes the catch in front of Moody. And now they're saying it's an incompletion.
The ball's a little low and outside. Robinson unable to get down. And this is not what you want coming out of halftime. right away. He's going to be backed up inside of his own, 15 here? Basically right next to his own goal line. And Steve Sarkisian, he's got to get this ball out quick and not let this pass rush get home.
3rd down and 14. Here comes a blitz. Card in trouble. Breaks the tackle. Card with some room. He'll get across the line of scrimmage. And finally goes down. It's a 6-yard gain. Toa, the middle linebacker with the tackle. And Texas is 3 and out.
Malachi Moore, 13. He's coming on the blitz. They get Will Anderson blocked here. But watch on the outside. See 13, he comes free. Mistake on the outside. 2 guys blocking Anderson. Nobody blocking Malachi Moore. Hudson Card was able to step away, but had nowhere to go with the football.
Daniel Trejo punts from inside his own 5. Kool-Aid McKinstry is the deep man. Trejo got all of this one. And it takes a bounce and will be down close to the Alabama 20. Daniel Trejo, senior from Fort Worth. 61 yards. Now today's game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. One of the questions in the contest is, which team will win and by how many points, Alabama or Texas? So Bryce Young returns for the first time here in the second half. Young 9 of 14, 78 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. In that first half, his receivers, especially the outside guys, look like they had some problems getting open. Let's see what kind of adjustment Bill O'Brien makes here. 1st and 10 at the 21. And here's a handoff to Gibbs. He sticks a foot in the ground, tries to turn it up. No way. Ojamo with the tackle. No gain.
Well, this defense did a heck of a job in that first half, and a big reason why is because Bama does not have the speedster to take the top off the defense like they've had over the last few years. And it was very apparent that Bryce Young didn't have anywhere to go with the football. That's put a lot of pressure on that run game over the course of the second quarter, and it has not been as effective as what we saw early in the game.
2nd and 10. Young looking. Young in trouble. Shovels it off, but nothing. Jalen Ford. Ryan Watts with pressure. Who are these guys from Texas?
They are flying around, and they are certainly playing better than we saw a year ago. And in addition to this coaching staff, as a special assistant to the head coach is Gary Patterson.
That's a big one there.
12 wins against AP top 10 teams as a head coach for TCU. And Gus, he's one of the great game planners out there, and he's been working on this game plan for this defense for the better part of 3 months since he got here to Austin.
A loss of 7, 3rd down and 17. Young lets it go over the middle, incomplete. Prentice the target, 3 and out for Alabama. You're talking about Gary Patterson. He's one of the defensive genius type minds in all of college football.
And he's dialing up these pressures. Look at the pressure in the face of Bryce Young. Obi Agofu, number 18, is there. Moro Ojomo is there. These guys are getting home. They are starting to win up front.
Burnip punting deep. Worthy with the fair catch at the 44-yard line. So Texas with terrific field position to start their second series here in the second half. Folks, we got a 10-10 game. #1 team in the nation on the road, and Texas is fighting. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by T-Mobile. More 5G bars in more places. And by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. Alabama has punted 4 straight times after scoring on both of its first 2 possessions. As we take a look at our score, 10-10. Best starting field position of the day for Texas. Card went off the field limping, but he's back on. First down at the 44. Bijan Robinson, the pistol back. He changes formation, play action, Card steps up, delivers deep. Can he get there? Incomplete. Whittington, the intended receiver, but good coverage in the secondary by Helms.
Beautiful coverage by Helms. Good ball by Card. Look, this was thrown on the money, but Helms is right there. Just terrific coverage from the safety. And an excellent job getting back right underneath Jordan Whittington as Texas tries to take another shot down the field. And Hudson Card has been limping, folks. He went in the tent, got that right ankle wrapped up, and now he has been limping. And we'll see where he goes. Now they'll be in the Wildcat.
So it's Johnson, the Wildcat quarterback, runs the option, gets across the line of scrimmage, muscles his way close to midfield. Branch with the tackle, a 5-yard gain.
Well, this could not be a worse situation for Steve Sarkisian. His starting quarterback, who played so well in the first quarter, was knocked out. He's no longer here. Now Hudson Card has started games before, fairly experienced to be a backup in this situation. Now it looks like he's limping around. We're down to possibly Charles Wright, Malik Murphy, if they've got to come in the ball game.
3rd down and 5 of the 49. Card under pressure, underneath. Nice catch, Whittington on the slant. And now they say it's incomplete.
The coverage there. Back end, and there's that limp. Boy, pronounced limp from Hudson Card now as he jogs off. And Texas cannot capitalize
on great field position.
Terrific field position. They're trying to run an RPO. Here's Young coming in. Bam, he takes a big hit right there after that last pass.
That was Young with the hit. This Alabama defense, they will make Texas pay. The Kool-Aid lets it go over his head and down at the 1, inside the 1. How about Trejo? Back-to-back monster kicks. This one from 50 yards. Alabama backed up deep. Interesting turn of events, folks. Ewers in street clothes, the starting quarterback. Card, the backup, experienced, limping. This young man may be the next one to go in, Charles Wright. He's from Austin. Right now, though, Alabama deep in their own territory. 1st down and 10. Bama 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. They're at their own 1. Here's a handoff straight ahead for a little bit of room. McClellan, who had that 81-yard touchdown run in the first half.
Gus, early in this game, that offensive line was rolling off the ball for Alabama and really winning the line of scrimmage, but they have not been able to do that. The defensive line for Texas has been really good, stopping the run on early downs, forcing the game into the hands of Bryce Young in that passing attack, and those wide receivers have not been able to get open.
2nd down and 7 at the 4. Young out of his own end zone. Young winds up down the field. Nobody even close. Burton, the intended receiver.
I mean, Texas gets away with one here because they clearly held Burton in the middle of the field as he was trying to run downfield for a big play. No flag was thrown, and now it's 3rd and 7, and we'll see what this pass rush can do in trying to get home. They've been dialing up those blitzes, exotic pressures, trying to bring different guys and 5, 6 guys on the pass rush. We'll see if they do it here.
And the crowd gets into it. Young, 10 of 17, 71 yards. And a bottle on the field. And they've gone away, Joel, from finding Jahmyr Gibbs in space.
And what's interesting
in the passing game.
This is one of the first times that Jahmyr Gibbs has been in on a passing situation since missing that pass protection, which led to a Bryce Young sack. So clearly something going on in the protection scheme that they're not comfortable with Gibbs, but here he is on a 3rd down.
3rd and 7 at the 4. Young steps up, and he's sacked. It's a safety. That's a safety. T'Vondre Sweat. Who are these Longhorns on defense? Unreal.
Gus, there was a flag down late. DeMarvion Overshown came in flying just after the play. This might be a flag on Texas. Watch as Young gets corralled.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting, number 0, defense. 15-yard penalty. That's the previous spot, automatic, first down. The previous play is under further review.
Roughing the passer, it looks like that was an Olay play.
Well, they're calling it on Overshown. I told you he came in late, and you could see he came in late and went over Bryce Young. This targeting will get waved off, but this is the important note, folks. They called roughing the passer with targeting. Even if targeting goes away, the roughing the passer will stay. Here's the pressure. Young goes down. Now Overshown's going to come in right there. Clearly not targeting. I feel like that's going to go away, but they called the personal foul. I don't know if he's even down there, but that's not reviewable. So the roughing the passer will stay here.
He barely touched him, Joel.
I understand that.
That's horrible. Mike Pereira, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting play, but what you have here is they called roughing the passer, and as Joel perfectly put, with targeting. So that means that they can review the targeting aspect, but the roughing the passer part you cannot review. So even though we think it might not be because he's not even down at that point, that's not going to be reviewable. So they should take off the targeting, but they will then enforce the roughing the passer, which will give Alabama a first down.
Boy, what a huge break for Alabama. And again, the coverage downfield. Gus, how many times are we going to see on third down Bryce Young holding the ball? You know, Young's not even down here. Look at that. He's still up when that kind of ball comes out and he tries to throw it.
That's a horrible call. The targeting call is horrible, and the roughing the passer call is horrible.
Listen,
He wasn't down, as you mentioned.
I don't disagree. I think that the official has a really hard time seeing whether he's down. He's got to anticipate that he's down as he's rolling over the defender. I will say
I understand that, but they missed that one, right?
The targeting, certainly. The roughing call is more subjective.
He's not down.
You know, he's going to be defenseless there. So they're looking at the targeting. Is there any contact to the head or neck area, which it doesn't seem to be the case. And again, like, he's not down. Well, the only other thing I would ask Mike.
Let's go back to Mike. Mike Pereira.
Mike, what is the fact that he's not down due to this play?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're maybe looking at the shin here, but again, Joel, you have to take the whole play in context here. I mean, is it one where you had roughing the passer? We'll get the
hold on, Mike.
After review, there is no foul for targeting or roughing the passer, as the foul was described incorrectly to the referee. The only foul that we reviewed was the targeting, as there was no roughing the passer called. Fourth down.
Holy cow. That was wild. The announcement in the stadium was very clear.
So because he wasn't down, he got the ball out. No safety.
He's being explained. This is wild. I've never seen this. Scott Campbell, our referee, said, Mike, he says it was explained to him wrong and that he shouldn't have announced roughing with targeting. Is that correct?
That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying at this point that the description was targeting and that was the roughing the passer penalty. The targeting aspect, not roughing the passer with targeting, but the act of targeting was the roughing the passer. So that's the way they got around it to take it off. Now, the one thing, you can question that as to what they might discuss or how they discussed it, but in the end, you got this to where it belonged, which was no foul. And I think that's probably the most important part.
And because he got the ball out and wasn't down, it's not a safety. And are they ruling that was a forward pass, so it's incomplete? Because the ball rolled out of the end zone, Mike, which would have been a safety.
Yeah, and so they can't get involved with intentional grounding.
Correct.
That's one thing they can't get involved with an instant replay. So they ruled that it was backward, and I mean, they ruled that it was an incomplete, that the arm had basically started forward.
Wild.
Burnham sends it away. Worthy has it with space, with a nice move, and finally knocked down at the 39, a 44-yard punt and a 10-yard return. Jalen Moody with the tackle on special teams, but Texas has great field position.
Gus, that was wild. I've never.
So let's get it clear.
Here's the clear.
What happened?
What happened is Scott Campbell called on the field. The announcement was roughing with targeting. That's not what he was supposed to say. He was supposed to say targeting. Just targeting, which was the act of roughing, and they're together, which means that if it's not targeting, it's also not roughing. So when he takes the targeting off, the roughing comes off. It's not automatic first down for Alabama. It's an incomplete pass, fourth down, and they have to punt.
First down and 10 from the 39. Carr drops it off in the flats. Now they're going to get the little speedster going in space as Worthy picks up 6 yards.
And now we go back to this wild storyline of the quarterback room for Texas. Gus Hudson-Card now still on the field, clearly limping and hobbled, as Quinn Ewers, the day's starter, is in street clothes on the sidelines. And now Steve Sarkisian is going to have to operate with a hobbled quarterback tied at 10 here in the third quarter, excuse me.
Second and 4 at the 33. Bijan Robinson the pistol. Card sets up a screen. He's got his man. Sanders loses his footing. And a flag on the play.
This is going to be on Will Anderson again. Clearly, Sanders is down, and Anderson came in and hit him late.
After the play was over, personal foul, necessary roughness, number 31. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic touchdown.
I think we're starting to see the frustration from a great player in Will Anderson. We haven't been able to call his name on those passing downs much. Right here, Sanders clearly down, rolls over, and Anderson just comes in and takes a totally ill-advised shot. For an experienced player, he's got to know better than that. You know, he didn't have a sack against Utah State. They were getting the ball out so quickly. Much the same today against Texas. He has been unable to make the impact that I'm sure he was hoping to make all offseason as the best defensive player returning in college football.
12 penalties, 73 yards against Bama. First and 10 of the 23. Robinson tries to break it outside, breaks a tackle, holds onto the rock as he goes down inside the Alabama 20. Branch with the tackle. A gain of 5.
The key for Texas, though, is capitalizing when they have these types of breaks. We saw right before the half, they drive down, don't get any points out of that series. Now, good field position. A late hit from Will Anderson. They need to capitalize, Gus, on these situations here in a tie ball game.
Second down and 6 from the 19. And it's Johnson this time. Keeps his legs churning. Roschon Johnson brought down by Moody. Picks up 4.
Huge third down here. on these short yardage situations, I always just think of Roschon Johnson as his ability as a former quarterback to be in a kind of a wildcat set if you don't want to expose your injured quarterback in the backfield. And there here he goes. So now Hudson Card runs out as a wide receiver, and now Roschon Johnson will act as the wildcat quarterback.
And Johnson hands it off. They won't get anything. Great defense by Alabama. Robinson was the runner. Toa defensively for the Crimson Tide.
They're so fast. Watch them flow over the top, and Toa is right there. He's such a good player, such a smart player, and they'll bring on the kicking unit. Last time, poor snap led to a pulled kick. So many times, Gus, you see someone pull it left, and the next one they miss it right. They overcorrect.
So Bert Auburn gets another opportunity. He missed a 20-yarder. And this one is perfect. Texas, 6:27 to go in the third. Takes a 13-10 lead over Alabama, the #1 team in the nation.
Welcome to Hampton.
The NFL is back with a huge Week 1 doubleheader on Fox. First, the Trey Lance era begins as the Niners take on the Bears. Then in America's Game of the Week, reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers leads the pack against Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. It all kicks off tomorrow on Fox. We've got a game here, folks. 6:27 to go. Third quarter, 13-10. Texas taking their first lead of this game as they send it deep into the end zone for a touchback. So what do you do if you're Bryce Young, Bill O'Brien, and Alabama offensively? What kind of adjustment do you think they need to make?
Well, look at these drives, Gus. 4 straight 3-and-outs with the punt. I mean, the second drive was a missed tackle for a touchdown. They have not done much against this defense. So what do they need to change? Well, they've got to start having some first down success and getting the safeties to really jump down on some of this run game. The problem is that the defensive line for Texas has done an excellent job after those first couple of series, really making it difficult on Alabama to run the ball. The biggest question mark around Alabama was around this wide receiver core, and the questions remain.
On first down, they throw it. Gibbs bottled up. Gibbs taken down at the 20. This Texas defense is flying around the ball. That's a loss of 4 yards on the play. Barron cleans it up.
And a flag way over on the far side.
Illegal shift, number 55, offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
That's Ekiyor, the All-American candidate at right guard.
I think they missed that. I think they should have called 54 because Tyler Steen, the left tackle, actually just wasn't in his stance before the motion started to go. So they weren't set before the motion actually went across the formation.
Second down and 14 at the 21. And they bring pressure. Young to the sideline. Nice throw. And it's Gibbs, who was very effective early on in the first half, catching it out of the backfield. He gets 10. Austin Jordan with the tackle.
Well, and he's by far their leading receiver today. Now 7 catches for 47 yards only. No other player for Bama has more than 1 catch. And the receivers have been virtually non-existent, unable to get open. But that certainly made this a much more palatable third down from Bama's perspective.
Bama has gone away from the running game. Third down and 4 at the 31. Young dancing. Young turns it up, looking for the first down, and he has it plus some. And another flag. This
There was a late block.
Trayshawn Holden.
During the run, personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 11, offense, 15-yard penalty as part of the foul. Still third down.
Can't block back towards your own goal line. So even though that was just kind of a lean in, clearly kind of in the back, also back towards his own goal line, that's going to get called every time, and it negates what was an excellent scramble for Bryce Young. You know, he's not panicking. You still sense like he's calm back there and trying to buy some time.
Unflappable.
Gus, the problem is he just has nowhere to throw the football. This receiver group cannot get open today.
13 penalties, 88 yards for Bama. Third down and 9 at the 26. Let's see if Young may run it again. Here's Young. Steps up. Scrambling, trying to get outside. In trouble. Young turns it up and goes down short of the first down marker. Byron Murphy got his ankle. It's a 7-yard gain on 3rd and 9. Brings up 4th down.
And again, these penalties just killing Alabama. Huge penalties, personal fouls. Young almost gets there, but just tripped up as he's trying to go for the line to gain and is about a yard short right there.
So Burnham standing at the 20. Worthy, the deep man. Comes up. Gets a shot and goes down shy of the 30. 39-yard punt, 2-yard return. 13-10 Texas. Back after this.
Folks, so excited this year. I'm starting a college football podcast, the Joel Klatt Show, wherever you get your podcasts. We've got new ones coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So go download it, subscribe, and check it out. We'll have a full breakdown of what's going on here and around college football, Gus, on Monday.
You just got here 6 minutes ago to Fox, and all of a sudden you already got your podcast. Are you paying guests?
Hey, man, we've been together 8 years.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, they swing it out. Whittington, nice run after the catch for first down.
Am I paying guests? Only you.
Okay. It's a hot one today, folks. Close to 90 degrees temperature. 50% humidity on the field. It's sweltering. Close to 120 degrees. First down for Texas. Card still in the game. At the 42. Play action. Card in trouble. And he's sacked. Jalen Moody got there. Card holding on to the ball too long. And this Alabama defense starting to percolate.
Doing a great job here in coverage. Card's trying to get the ball out quickly, but he's got nowhere to throw it. And then you can tell he just cannot move. And Moody was able to get the sack there in the backfield. Card totally immobile. Cannot move around. Everything for Steve Sarkisian is going to have to get the ball out of his hand quickly or big play action to try to take the shot down the field.
Jalen Moody from Conway, South Carolina. 2nd and 19 at the 33. Empty backfield for Card. Steps up and runs it. He faked everybody out. And he'll pick up the first down on a bum leg. Nicely done by Hudson Card. A 20-yard gain.
They're dropping all 7 into coverage, and there was a bit of man coverage being played, and nobody looking at Card. Why? Because of what I just told you. He's totally immobile until he's got all the green grass he can possibly hope for, just fighting through the pain to get to that line to gain and get out of bounds so he doesn't have to take another hit. They are loving it here in Austin, folks.
And if you weren't with us at the top of the broadcast, Quinn Ewers, the freshman quarterback, got injured, went out, hasn't been back since the first half. Here's Johnson. Roshan Johnson picks up a few. Helms with the tackle. So Quinn Ewers goes out in the first half. Hudson Card, who got beat out by Ewers, comes in, and now he gets a tender leg and has been limping. for a considerable amount of time.
And also now on this play, another Longhorn shaken up. That's their wide receiver, Casey Kane, number 88, is down on the field, a redshirt freshman from New Orleans, who they really like and had a great catch and run last week against Louisiana Monroe. And the one element that Bama has been able to take away, Gus, early in the game, Xavier Worthy was in one-on-one situations, and he was able to exploit those with his speed and get down the field. Texas was going to take those shots and going to try to take them all day long. What Alabama has done is that they said, okay, our front seven has been good against the run, so now we're going to get our safeties back, and we're going to play over the top of Xavier Worthy. And almost every single pass play, he's been double covered now. One guy over the top, one guy underneath. Great adjustment by Nick Saban to take away what clearly Steve Sarkisian wants to do.
And they'll hand it off. Robinson gets going, and Robinson finally upended by Helms. Dijon Robinson, it's been tough running, tough sledding for him today. 16 carries, 50 yards.
Boy, you wonder if this is two-down territory here. You know, if he's got a couple of plays lined up. 3rd and short, this is not a field goal range, but you don't want to punt it from this point. And judging by how well his defense plays, he might be calling 2 plays here.
3rd down and 2. 50 seconds and counting here in the 3rd quarter. And they'll hand it off. Robinson looks like he had a
pass, and I can make people miss, but I got to show that I've got power. And right there, he lowers his shoulder.
Place fake, card, looking, dumps it off, and incomplete. He had major pressure on him. Toe-to-toe. And a flag again. Let's see. Alabama, 13 penalties, 83 yards. Texas, 5 for 30.
Boy, in every flag, we've had long conferences, haven't we, with these officials?
But 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Legal substitution. Defense, more than 11. That penalty is declined. Offside. Defense, that penalty be accepted. 5 yards from the previous spot. It's still 1st down.
Well, they were trying to substitute and got caught by a quick snap thereafter. Robinson was able to get the 1st down, and they're trying to trot Byron Young off, 47. He did not get off the field. And they were also lined up offside. Just uncharacteristic. So many sloppy mistakes. Now 14 penalties, most in the Nick Saban era.
1st down. And this one thrown to the ground by Card. DJ Dale, Will Anderson with pressure.
I was not anticipating this game turning into a defensive struggle, but that is certainly what has materialized here today. And this Bama defense has been on the field for a long time today. 120 degrees on the field at field level, and they have been out there for a ton of snaps.
2nd down and 5. To the sideline, Worthy with some space, and Worthy finally brought down. A flag on the play. Looks like a face mask is coming up against Helms.
Into the play, Worthy steps back in towards the middle, and Helms, as he's reaching back, grabs the face mask and rips his helmet off. Clearly a penalty.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 2. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. 1st down. The runner can remain in the game as the foul occurred against the runner's helmet.
And now again, Texas driving.
And it seems like the adjustment that Steve Sarkisian has made, Joel, is now they're starting Worthy like in the backfield to catch passes.
Trying to get him in different spots so that they can get him his touches because of the double coverage down the field. So the little bubble screens on the outside, you'll start to see him in motion. Good adjustments by Steve Sarkisian in a defensive struggle.
Coming up, folks, the 4th quarter. Texas leading the #1 team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide. stick around.
American.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. As we start the fourth quarter, our score 13-10. Here's the pupil, Steve Sarkisian, taking on his mentor, Nick Saban. Texas first down and 10 at the 12 with an opportunity. And here's Robinson and another face mask. This time it's Jordan Battle. Or is it?
I don't think he got his face mask.
Got him around the collar.
Trying a little misdirection there to nullify the effect of those outside linebackers. Here's that call. No, you were right, Gus. Certainly got a piece of the face mask. Flag did not come out, but more importantly, they stay on schedule here now. You got second and manageable. Remember, Hudson Card can't do much running around, so we'll see what they do here on offense.
Second and 5 at the 7. They'll run it straight ahead, nothing doing. No gain.
Boy, that seems like a
Young,
kind of a
right in the middle of that.
throwaway play, doesn't it? I thought they would try to do something formationally and pop a tight end open on the back of the end zone or something. And down here in the red area, they have loved the matchup that they get with their tight end, Jatavian Sanders.
Third down and 5 at the 7. There's Sanders. Card in the shotgun. Here's Card. Drops it off. Caught. Bijan Robinson, but the pursuit is excellent by Alabama. Kool-Aid with a smile making a play.
Great tackle on the outside. Kool-Aid stepping up from that corner position as Henry To'oTo'o is following from linebacker. Good pursuit from the middle of the field. Card gave him an accurate ball. Robinson's trying to get to that corner, but just the speed and athleticism of that defense too much.
So Bert Auburn comes in. Just kicked a 33-yarder. This one will be from 29 yards away, and it's good. 16-10 as we start the fourth. Texas leading number 1. Back after this. And welcome back. 16-10 our score. Alabama 53 straight wins over non-conference teams in the regular season. That's an NCAA record. But offensively for the Crimson Tide, here's an interesting statistic. Alabama has only 186 yards of total offense. If you subtract out that 81-yard run, Alabama has 105 yards on 35 plays, 3.0 yards per play.
Pack Life game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security. For more than 150 years, Bijan Robinson tied the game at 10 with that nice run over the left side. And then it's been about the penalties for Alabama. 15 of them so far today, 100 yards. That's the most under Nick Saban since he got there to Tuscaloosa. And this defense for Texas has played sensational all day long. 6 Alabama punts. They're almost a safety. And this defensive front, Gus, has shut down that run game after the long 81-yard touchdown run. Bama has had no success running the football.
Big boys up front for Texas doing a wonderful job. Sweat, Colburn, Ojimo. And that was Overshown with the tackle after a 3-yard gain.
Think of it this way. They've run the ball 17 times now for about 110 yards, just over 110 yards. Plus 81 of those came on 1 carry. That's how good Texas has been outside of that one scamper from McClellan for a touchdown.
2nd and 7 at the 28. Keep in mind, though, they have the Heisman Trophy winner, Bryce Young. Young over the middle, incomplete. Burton dropped it. The Georgia transfer has been quiet today.
There were 2 questions about this Alabama team. Everybody knew that their defense would be great. Bryce Young would be great. The 2 questions coming into this season for Crimson Tide fans: was our offensive line going to be better? in particular running the ball, and do we have the wide receivers to take the top off the defense? Both of those things have haunted them today. Can't run it, can't get open down the field.
3rd down and 7 at the 28. Young. Looking. Young takes off. Picks up the 1st down. And gets out of bounds. That's a 17-yard gain.
Such a smart play because he's going to recognize that he's got man coverage on the 2nd level. So watch as DeMarvion Overshown. As soon as he's in man and he sees it, see how he runs over, and he's like, boom, I'm out of here. I've got that 1st down, and just almost like a casual stroll in the park, just runs down the field, steps out of bounds.
1st down at the 45. Empty backfield for Young. Young guns it, and a 1st down. Kobe Prentice with the catch. That's a gain of 7.
Boy, we have not seen them have any type of sustained drive like this since really the 1st quarter. It's been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So here, a couple of nice plays here for Bama.
Prentice in motion, and they'll give it. Williams and Roydell will get the 1st down for Alabama.
And for as well as Texas has played defensively, their offense has not helped them out. I understand that they've been banged up at quarterback, but they've been in the red zone now 5 times, only have 16 total points. 4 trips of those 5s were inside the 10. And so only being up 6 right now against the Heisman Trophy winner is not where you want to be.
Bryce Young across the body, and it's caught. Prentice, and Kobe Prentice goes down and tackled by Ryan Watts, and he picks up another 8.
This is the feel I was talking about. As Young escapes the pocket, he moves up, and then he's moving to his right. He's got great feel for space, and he just sees an opening, and boom, just flips the ball out. Quick release, right on the money to Prentice. Excellent job.
Point guard in high school, terrific player. He has vision. Sidearms this one out. Prentice again, this time he won't go far. Anthony Cook, nice open field tackle. That's a loss of 1.
Well, the biggest difference with Texas has been those big boys up front and their ability to tackle on the edge. That's something that has haunted them over the last few years, and now a great opportunity to try to get off the field.
3rd down and 3 at the 37. Coach Saban continues to pace. Gibbs returns. Young looking. Young over the middle. Incomplete. Wow. Young under intense pressure again. Alfred Collins. And let's see if Nick Saban elects to go for it.
Check out this rush. Beautiful work with his hands. Look at him. He rips the hands of the center right down, and then he's in with the pressure, and Bryce Young will stay on the field for Alabama on 4th down.
4th down and 3. Gibbs has been his go-to guy. Young over the middle. Caught. Great throw. And this time it's Ja'Corey Brooks. First time we've called his name today. He'll pick up the 1st down, a 14-yard gain.
And again, an excellent understanding of space. Bryce Young is going to exploit the middle of this defense. Watch as they layer these routes, one underneath, one deeper, and Young just calmly dumps it right over the top for a 1st down.
1st down at the Texas 23. Bryce Young again over the middle. He's found a soft spot. Brooks spinning, and he'll go down at the 6. Alabama starting to cook with gas now.
Boy, you give this guy a rhythm, it doesn't take long. So good, surgical in the way that he can get the ball down the field. Beautiful throw.
1st down and goal. From the 7. Young pumps it, looking, steps back, in the end zone, touchdown Alabama! Jahmyr Gibbs, what a play by Bryce Young!
Jahmyr Gibbs.
And the Crimson Tide have a chance to take the lead.
This guy's unbelievable. Bryce Young sprinting to his left, stops, flips his hips around, and sidearms it across his body to Gibbs on the money. Check this out right here. Young's dead to rights. Boom, flips around, dime, touchdown Tide. Wow.
Young, 6 of 8, 52 yards on the drive. Extra point is good. And Alabama, although it hasn't been their best day, penalties. They come back and now have a 1-point lead here in the fourth quarter.
This just in.
What an exciting game this has been, folks. 8:29 remaining. The #1 team in the nation, Alabama, with a 1-point lead.
And for Texas fans, it's what could have been late in that first half, a missed field goal after driving it inside the 5, and then the defense doing a heck of a job. Thought they had a safety. Bryce Young just got it out of his hand, and they were unable to put those points on the board, and now down by 1. Their backup quarterback, Hudson Card, in the game.
Roschon Johnson back deep. Reichert sends it away. And this one out of the end zone. Nick Saban has coached against his former assistants on more than one occasion, and here are the numbers.
Well, it was like a no tread area for the first 24 games. No pupil was able to get the best of the teacher. And then in the last 3, you saw Jimbo Fisher with Texas A&M last year. He got a win. Kirby Smart ultimately avenged that SEC championship game loss and won the national championship. And now here's Steve Sarkisian with Texas in a true measuring stick game for this program against what has been the premier program in college football. And Texas has certainly done very well.
Card off his back foot and incomplete. One thing that was interesting is that Steve Sarkisian told us that we have to play well because I wouldn't want to disappoint Coach Saban.
I thought that was such an interesting comment, right? He said that he learned a lot, obviously, and as Jenny said earlier in the game, he wouldn't be where he's at without the opportunity to go be under Nick Saban and to coach at Alabama, but he wanted to pay homage by putting a team on the field that Nick Saban would respect, and he's certainly done that today.
2nd down and 10, near side, Whittington. And he's stopped by Moody. Coach Sarkisian telling us that he thought he knew what discipline was until he came to Alabama, and he realized that he didn't. And now as he approaches 50 years old, he thinks he's poised to really go further in his head coaching career because, in large part, of Coach Saban. 3rd down and 9 at the 26. Here's Card. Winds up down the field and incomplete. Almost intercepted by Helms.
He just doesn't have the base to throw the ball with any power. He had Worthy open on the double move on the outside, in part because Bijan Robinson threw a great block against the blitz in the backfield. He had time, but he couldn't get the ball, Gus, from the near hash outside of the far numbers because that back foot, his right ankle, can't allow him to get any power. Both throws that he had in that series falling woefully short.
Trejo, who's been excellent in this game, punts it away. Kool-Aid is the deep man, and he'll run it. Trying to get around the corner, finally does, but he's met by Longhorns and goes down. 48-yard punt, 3-yard return. Back after this, Alabama with the football. (17-16) our score. Alabama with the lead and the football. Young to the sideline, and it's a catch. Holden. First down.
Tell you, when Bama needed it most, who stepped up? Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
And he started finding some of these wide receivers and exploiting this defense. Found some soft spot right there. Holden able to bring it down. Great catch along the sideline on first down.
Young, 19 of 29, 139 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. Here he is, backpedaling. Hit as he throws, and he puts it on the money. And he took a hard shot. Trayshawn Holden with the reception for 21, but Bryce Young stuck in the pocket.
Boy, he took a big shot, like you said, but that ball was thrown perfectly on time. Good route by Trayshawn Holden. He comes on that in-breaking route, and that was a big play.
First down and 10 of the 45. Young again, as Alabama has completely abandoned the running game. Young, though, starting to pick them apart. Back-to-back-to-back completions to Holden.
And they seem to have found a guy that can step up. Trayshawn Holden. You know, they did not have a wide receiver step up at all in the first 3 quarters, but here Holden, a few catches in a row.
2nd and 2. Now they run it, looking for the first down. McClellan. And he has it.
Boy, the last few series have just been a masterclass in being patient, having great competitive maturity. That means not getting down when things don't go your way, because they weren't going Bama's way for a long stretch, but Bryce Young has competitive maturity.
Here's Young, looking, surveying, and decides to run it. Gets down inside the Texas 30-yard line. Ogrofu covering up defensively. 4-yard pickup.
Ekiyor, the right guard, 55. His helmet popped off, so now he's got to be replaced. I believe that was Tyler Booker, 52, that ran in. Yep, that's right. Tyler Booker, true freshman, runs in. He's at right guard right now for a snap.
2nd and 6 at the 30. Ekiyor, preseason second-team All-American. Young with the empty backfield. Quick throw. Has it. Latu, his tight end, close to a first. Ford with the tackle for Texas.
Well, Texas needs this desperately, and Bama is in the situation that they want to be in. They're taking time off the clock, methodically driving their way down the field, and they're in a down and distance that Bryce Young can control it. They can run the ball if they want with Gibbs in the backfield, and if he sees an advantage on the outside, he can take a quick throw to try to move the chains.
3rd down and 2. Bama's been effective with the short tosses. Prentice in motion. They hand it off, and Gibbs, he falls forward. Looks like he has the first down. 4:27 to go. He does.
You think of when the chips are in the middle of the table, you got to have your stars show up, and Bryce Young has been excellent here in the last couple of series. There, Gibbs falls forward. Good effort right there.
And Joel, would you say that this game started to loosen up for the Alabama offense when Bryce Young started to run the football a little bit?
No, because he's only going to run if it's wide open, and that's the last resort. He scrambles and moves around the pocket in order to get the ball down the field, like the touchdown to Gibbs. But if it's there and he catches the defense in the wrong look, he'll take advantage. And certainly when you think back, if you're struggling as an offense and you just need a first down, even a scramble for a first down, everyone exhales a little bit and you relax. And there certainly was a little bit of relaxing.
And he's done that twice today. Bryce Young, 6 carries, 18 yards. They're trying to determine if he fell forward and he had enough for the first down.
Certainly looked like he did from the angles that we had. This is probably the best look at it. Got to try to establish where that ball is, and then when he's actually down there, his butt's down. Well, I don't know based on that spot.
That line is unofficial.
He's got to get to the 24-yard line, and The fact that his body was between the line to gain and the football, but that would be really tough to overturn.
Let's go to Mike Pereira. Mike, your thoughts?
And I think, Gus, you made the big point here. The yellow line is unofficial. You've got to look at the yard marker on the sideline, which is a little bit in front of that line when you take a look at that. So the question is, when the rear end hit, had he broken where he needed to get based on that yard marker on top? It's really close and might be difficult to overturn.
There's a good freeze right there. Butt hits. You can see the ball tucked in that right arm.
.413 to play in regulation. 17-16.
I think he's short.
They're taking a long time, and when they take a long time, you get the sense that they feel like they're seeing something. Take a look at a zoomed-in version right there. Really tough to see the ball. Really tough to see the ball. The other part of this, Gus, and Mike Pereira will know this, when they take this long after the chains have set, they're trying to say, okay, well, where was the clock? Where were the chains? You know, what down would it be? And they're trying to reset all the mechanics. You know, there's a chance he's short there. I think he's short of that 24-yard line. And the fact that it's taken this long, I think that they might be talking about the mechanics of moving those chains back, and then it becomes a question then for Alabama.
Still should.
After review, the runner was down, but the ball short on the line to gain. It's going to be 4th down, 1.5 yard to go at the 24.5 yard line.
So Nick Saban faced with a 4th down. Alabama keeps the offense on the field. They will go for it. 4:13 to play in the 4th. Fourth and 1. Roydell Williams in the backfield. They give it to him. Did he get it? Let's see.
Judging by that far spot, I don't think he got it. Anthony Cook was in on the play. Cook is right here. He's the one that's going to come up and make the hit on Williams right there, and you can see the ball coming loose. Elbow was down with control. That ball was back near the 25.
So they're going to bring the chains out to measure. Big play for both teams here. Alabama up by 1. Let's see if the Texas defense held them. And they did! Texas football!
That defensive line has been terrific all day long. And Keondre Coburn in the middle, the senior from Houston, 345 pounds. He would not be denied. And he got a little push into the backfield, which is what forced Roydell Williams to have to try to jump to his right. They will look at this spot. There's the push from 99. There's the jump cut. He slips a bit. The elbow is down. The ball comes out. The far side official had probably the best look of anybody in the stadium. It's a great look here. Good push. He gets tripped up. Boy, judging on where they put that football, where that elbow hit, I don't think they're going to be able to move this ball. And again, this defensive line, Gus. You talk about these veterans, these guys up front, they've had 3 different defensive line coaches in their career. Some of them have played for 3 different head coaches when they first got here. Coordinators changing up. And they've done a heck of a job here. Remember, he had to get all the way to the 24 and get his...
Here comes a call.
Rolling on the field stands. First down, Texas.
Well, those guys up front, Gus, they have been all world today. That's the best game this defensive line has played in their entire career against a great team. And Bama has struggled up front on the offensive line, and those struggles now come back to hurt them on a 4th down. Last year was one of Nick Saban's worst rushing teams that he's had, and they thought that they were going to get that fixed. And they came into today, and they have been unable to get much going on the ground.
So Texas takes over at the 25, down by 1. Robinson squeezes through the hole. Gains a yard. Coach Sarkisian now is going to have to throw caution to the wind with his backup quarterback. They need to move this football.
And my whole question with Hudson Card is just how much velocity he can put on the football. On the last series, both of his passes down the field came up woefully short.
2nd down and 9. Card has been plagued by a lower leg injury. Here he is. Over the middle. He has his man, Johnson. Johnson pulls his way forward and picks up a 1st down. Pelham stops him, but he gains 12.
Great second effort there, and making the first guy miss.
1st down at the 37 for the Longhorns. They hand it off. Robinson. Not a lot. Clock keeps running. He gains 3. Branch with the tackle, the safety.
As long as time allows, he's going to continue to try to run this football. And remember, he's going to run the ball to try to put himself in position to take a shot down the field with the play action. Your eye on Xavier Worthy. He's the guy. He's the speedster. And Alabama is going to have to keep at least 2 guys over the top. And you see that right here. Safety over the top over Worthy.
2nd and 7. Play fake. Card over the middle. Caught. Kane. Texas is inside Alabama territory. That's a gain of 29.
Really smart route structure. They cleared out with Worthington. They cleared out with Xavier Whittington, excuse me. And then on the outside, here's Casey Kane. All the room that you would ever need right in there in the middle of the field.
That brings up 1st down and 10 at the 31. Now, Card under center. They hand it off. Johnson goes outside and steps out of bounds. They're in field goal range.
They are. So now Hudson Card has got to know he cannot take a sack. Got to be safe with the ball. We saw Utah make a critical error late in that game against Florida last week. Now Bert Auburn, remember, they've struggled in the kicking game. Missed a field goal last week. Missed the field goal at the end of the first half this week. They've struggled with the snap. And so Steve Sarkisian doesn't want to just rely on his kicker here.
Auburn is 3 for 4. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Bijan Robinson. Toe-to-toe with the tackle, and a timeout called by Alabama. 1:38 to play in the 4th quarter, America. The #1 team in the nation on the Dramatic finish on the way, folks. 17-16, 1:38 to go. Alabama, the #1 team in America, leading Texas here in Austin. Third down and 3 at the 24. Play fake. Card, and he took a sack. That's exactly what you said, partner. Anderson. And that brings up 4th down.
This is the motor this guy plays with. Anderson never stops. He pauses for a moment because of the misdirection, and then bang, he is shot out of a cannon, and he records his first sack of the season. Here's Anderson over here on this left side of the offense, and watch, he pauses for a moment, and then he's out of there. Boom. Card has no chance trying to get that ball out to the right side. He's trying to get it to his tight end. Ja'Tavion Sanders has nowhere to go with it because Will Anderson is there. That's the effort. Talk to you about his talent. That's the effort that we see, and Bama gets the huge sack.
So that brings in Bert Auburn. He's 3 for 4 today. He's made 26-yarders, 33 and 24. This one actually from 49 yards away. Auburn trying to beat Alabama. Got it up. And he's good.
What a clutch kick from Bert Auburn. Snap, perfect. Card spins the laces. And Auburn puts it through. What a drive from Texas. Hudson Card calmly leading them down the field. Steve Sarkisian loving it, but in the back of his mind, knowing that the player he recruited to Alabama may be the best offensive player in America. And he still has 1:29 left. Bryce Young about to be on the field, down 2 on the road.
But there's a whole lot of time left. And that's a bad man right there. Bryce Young. They send it away. Touchback. So here comes the Heisman Trophy winner. From Pasadena, California. Modern day high school. And they've had some great ones come out of that school, including a guy that works with us. Last 2 drives, the numbers. They've been moving it effectively. Alabama with 1 timeout left.
Being a great player is not just about playing great. It's about being great when greatness is needed. And that's what Alabama needs right now from Bryce Young and an inexperienced wide receiver core.
First down and 10 of the 25. Young underneath, and it's caught by Burton. And Burton gets out of bounds. He'll gain 7.5, maybe 8 yards on the play.
Easy pitch and catch. That's what's been working over the course of the last couple of series.
Where do they need to go to get in field goal range for for Reichert?
They would try, based on pregame warm-ups, anything from 56 or 57.
2nd and 2 at the 33. Young over the middle. Gibbs with running room. And Gibbs gets into Texas territory. A 20-yard gain.
Beautiful call from Bill O'Brien. He gets the mismatch. The defensive end, Ogofu, lined up on Gibbs, and he exploits it.
First down at the Texas 47. One timeout left for Alabama. Young looking, sideline, caught, is tied in. Latu. And he didn't get out of bounds. Clock keeps going.
They still have that timeout, and they're awfully close to range. They would probably want about 5 more yards. He's already hit from over 50 today.
Second and 5. Bryce Young. Sideline again. And he's close for the first time. And once again, it's Latu, his tight end, with 35 seconds to go.
And they keep going back to that. It's the same concept. They've got Gibbs running inside on the angle route, and then Latu is on the outside breaking out. And Young is making great decisions. Texas has to adjust. And now, certainly you would feel like they're at least in field goal range based on what they've been able to do today.
Timeout, Texas.
What a game.
What a game this has been, folks.
And just the stars showing up late in this game. The way Texas has played, surprising the entire country here with a 2-point lead. Without their starting quarterback and their backup hobbled, still in this position. Why? Because of this unit on the field right now, the defense. And that's where the game rests, is on this defense. But Bryce Young has a beat on what's going on. He's the most intelligent player I've ever seen on film. Knows where to go with the ball, on time, on target. He's carving them up over the last 3 series.
First down at the 37. Young under pressure. Plays contained. Young runs it. Young, first down and more. What a play by the Heisman Trophy winner, Bryce Young. A 19-yard gain, dodging bullets.
They dialed up the blitz, and it was executed. They had it, and Ryan Watts, the transfer from Ohio State, misses the tackle. Boom, Young dips under it. Look at him, he goes down, dips in towards the line of scrimmage, and then he's outside. Oh, the flexibility, athleticism, the awareness, understanding, and he never panicked. Look at him, strolling down the field. Love watching this guy play.
27 seconds to go. First and 10 at the Texas 17. Bryce Young to the sideline, incomplete. Clock stops at 24.
He cannot force the ball into coverage. Every throw has got to be his guy or nobody.
Watch Jahmyr Gibbs, who lines up in the backfield with Young. Here's Young, looks the other way. Incomplete. Hold in the target.
Notice where that ball is, in a place where it's his guy or nobody. Cannot take a chance with the ball. 19 ticks left. He feels like he has 3 points in his pocket. He can throw it anywhere on the field with that timeout in his back pocket. The most effective play has been Gibbs into the boundary and taking the easy throws towards the sideline.
Third down and 10. Young, sidearms, caught, and out of bounds goes Ja'Corey Brooks.
Texas brought that same blitz, bringing Ryan Watts off the corner. This time, Bryce Young just stands up, delivers it.
From 32 yards away, and the lead. Got it down, clean, up, and good for Alabama. But a timeout was called, folks.
Texas.
Prior to the snap.
30 seconds.
What a series. Man, that guy is so good, and it didn't matter what Texas was doing. They thought they caught him with that blitz from Ryan Watts. But then it's about his athleticism. And, man, I tell you, watching him play is just an absolute pleasure. And he has shown up when they've needed it the most. And Bryce Young drives his team down and puts them in perfect position here, right hash, for a field goal to potentially win it.
Reichert tied a career high earlier today with a 52-yarder. This one from 33 yards away. Clean snap, good hole, and once again right down Main Street. And Alabama takes a 20-19 lead with 10 seconds remaining.
What a series. Boy, it hasn't looked pretty for the Crimson Tide at times today. They've struggled running the ball. The wide receivers were not showing up for big portions of this game, but they figured it out. They made the correct adjustments both on defense and on offense. Now let's take a look at some college football mayhem with our mayhem moment, sponsored by Allstate. The field goal up and good. Bryce Young, cool, calm, and collected, never panics. Nick Saban does what he needs to do. That defense made adjustments. Certainly the injuries to Texas quarterbacks did not help the Longhorns, but the Crimson Tide executed situational football late in this game and put themselves in position to have this 1-point lead.
The Crimson Tide, 9 plays, 61 yards. They scored in 1 minute and 19 seconds. Bryce Young. He's got that electric smile.
And Texas was throwing the kitchen sink out.
They certainly did.
Corner blitzes, changing coverages, but it didn't matter. He was ready. And then when they did catch him and they weren't ready for that corner blitz, he escaped. Man, that missed tackle was huge from Ryan Watts, but Bryce Young delivers again.
And Reichert sends it away. And they'll bring it out of the end zone. Johnson. And with 6 seconds remaining, Card comes back on the field.
Well, they'll be looking to pitch it around, do something crazy here. With that being said, Gus, Texas played a great game today. And there are clear steps forward for this team. They executed. They did a great job for a huge portion of this game, and they're going to feel like they let one get away. Certainly with the way that they really didn't capitalize on field position, in particular inside the 10-yard line, the injuries that took place. But this is a huge step forward for the Longhorn program against Alabama, which is the standard bearer of college football.
From the 24-yard line, 5 seconds remaining. Card steps up, and Card lets it go, and incomplete. And that's a ball game, folks. Alabama comes back, and they defeat Texas on the road 20-19 in a thriller. Nick Saban and Coach Sarkisian embrace. What a game. Bryce Young. When the rubber met the road, Bryce Young stepped it up and led him down the field. And our Jenny Taft is on the field with Coach Saban.
Well, Coach, I know at times today this wasn't the standard of football that you expect, but it's the way your quarterback, Bryce Young, finished it. Just take me through how impressive his day was in the end.
Well, I think at the end of the day, he did a great job. When you know, his best was needed, he was really good. And that's what we needed. I mean, we didn't run the ball very well, so, you know, we had to spread them out. Did a good job of moving the ball. You know, tough call down here on inches. Go for it or kick a field goal, but I just felt like we could go 2 minutes and kick a field goal if we needed to.
I know that the penalties were frustrating you at the half and throughout the game. What's the message? How do you clean it up?
You know, we don't want penalties. It's all about discipline, making the right choices and decisions, whether it's pre-snap, post-snap, it doesn't matter. So, you know, we got to play better. There's no doubt about that. You got to give Texas a lot of credit. They did a great job today. Sark's done a great job here. They got a good team, so we just got to play better.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jenny. What a game. Joel, your thoughts on what you saw from both teams?
Start with Texas, and this is a team that is clearly on the path towards being more competitive at the top end of their conference, and potentially even this year winding up in Dallas, with a chance at a Big 12 title. The heartbreak for them is where do they go quarterback-wise moving forward? Then Alabama, still the standard. As poorly as they played, they still made the adjustments and have the player, which is more specific. Who was it at the end, Gus? Will Anderson with the sack, Bryce Young with the drive. They've got the dudes, and they executed when they needed it.
All right, 2019, the final. Alabama comes back. The #1 team in the nation wins it by a penny. Coming up after this break, we'll take you out to Washington State at Wisconsin. For Jenny Tabb, Joel Klatt, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Austin. Have a great day.
The Masked